What's going on, guys? I'm Jay the Black. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in. I want to talk about this this very weird story out of Chicago. Apparently, you have a 19-year-old by the name of Akiya Sims. She decided that it'll be a good idea to set up her current boyfriend to be robbed. But in this situation, she set him up to be robbed by her baby's father. Her name is Akiya Sims. Again, her baby's father is Dion Jones, and her current, or was her current boyfriend, is Ohleyer Jones. Okay, at least I pronounce his name. All of them are 19. I saw one particular article say she was 20. All because he would flash money on his, on his Facebook page. That's a no-no. That's a no-no. You cannot be flashing money on Facebook under no circumstances. That's something that you can't be out here doing, man. Can't be out here doing that, because you're gonna make yourself a target, and that's exactly what happened in this situation. I have never seen a story where a female decided to plot with her baby's father to rob her current boyfriend, but that's exactly what she did. Now she may spend the rest of her life in jail. And looking at the stuff that her boyfriend is into, because he got caught in another state with a whole bunch of stuff, right? And it's sad all around. But let's get into this article here from Newsweek. A woman has been charged with first-degree murder after her boyfriend lost his life during a robbery in Chicago, according to police. Akiya Sims, who's 20, was arrested in Indianapolis on Monday in connection with the passing of her boyfriend, Ohleyer Jones, who's 19 as well, according to Fox 32. Sims was then transferred to Chicago, where she was charged with Jones' murder. She appeared in a bond court on Wednesday, where she was ordered to be held without bail, which is good. We can't have people like that on the streets. Prior to Sims' arrest, Dion Evans had been charged as one of the gunmen who took the life of Jones, while the latter sat inside the car while Sims sat in the car with Sims in the 900 block of South Normal Avenue, Fox 32 reported. Prosecutors said that Evans had arranged with a friend to have Sims and Jones come over to their home and have Sims walk out of the back with Jones' gold chain. This was all over his gold chain. All of this was because of his gold chain. They robbed this young man for his gold chain. That's what this was all about. That's what he was worth to them. But when Jones and Sims drove to the home, another friend warned them about the plan and told them to leave, according to the network. So somebody told them what was going to happen. Now, that's the one thing I'm trying to figure out. If that person told them of the plan, he should have immediately kicked that chick out the car and gotten out of there. Now, I'm assuming that he was told of what was going to happen. When Jones drove away, prosecutors said he stopped at the Normal Avenue, where a white SUV pulled up, and Evans and another person allegedly fired several rounds at his vehicle. Several rounds struck Jones, and he was ultimately taken to Christ Medical Center in critical condition and later passed due to his injuries. Sim, who has a child with Evans, allegedly got into the white SUV. She suffered a bullet wound to her leg during the shooting. Prosecutor said that was karma. That was karma. That's what you get for trying to set up somebody just to get their gold chain. He who is your boyfriend, who trusted you. And what did you do? For the love of your baby daddy, right? You decide to set up your current boyfriend to be robbed. Now look at the mess you created. You got a leg wound, which is very, that's the karma there, right? This dude is so sloppy that he's just firing into the car knowing that you are in there. You know why he was able to do that? Because he doesn't care about you. You don't mean that much to him. Evans later took Sims to her home in Indianapolis and then a hospital where she told a witness the plan had been to rob Jones, but that it had changed, said prosecutors, according to Fox 32. Following Evans' arrest, police found the gold chain and the white SUV that was registered in his mother's name, the network reported. This guy is driving around committing crimes in a car registered in his mother's name. To these mama's boys, man. But a Chicago Police Department news release said Sims was identified as the offender who, on January 21st, 2022, in the 900 block of South Normal Avenue, shot at 19-year-old male victim multiple times, causing his death. So this all happened back in January. There's a lot going on in January. And they finally caught her recently, I believe as of March. And I believe they caught the boyfriend or the baby daddy in February. They caught him in February. So they was on the run. Sims has since been charged with first-degree murder. According to the Violence Archive, a database that collects information about shootings from across the U.S., 109 people have lost their life in Chicago since January 1st. But we don't talk about that. We don't talk about the people who've lost their lives in Chicago. We ignore that to talk about white supremacy, to talk about Ukraine. We talking about everything else but what's going on in Chicago. Brooke Lynn Lank of Pennsylvania was charged herself with murder and abuse of corpse after she allegedly shot her boyfriend in the head March 13th. An Allegheny County Police Department complaint read, she said that he was still breathing and reaching for her, so she shot him 2 more times. Lang said that she panicked and then dumped his body in the alley of McKees Rocks. When you look at this young lady, you see somebody that's young, looks like she's still a teenager, doesn't look like she'd be out here doing these things, but you'll be wrong. You'll be wrong. These young girls, man, you can't tell them nothing. When they don't have a strong family structure, they get led astray. Instead of her being at home with her child, instead of her working, she's setting up her current boyfriend to be robbed. Now, maybe she has some argument with him and they separated briefly. She got mad. She want to go tell the baby's father. He's upset. He's mad because she's moved on anyway. So he said, you know what? Let's rob him. And she goes along with it because she is under the control of her baby father. That's why you have to be careful when you're dating single mothers, because when you date single mothers, you got to understand they're still going to have that connection with their baby's father. Now, you got some women that will distance themselves from their baby's father, but you also got those that still have a strong connection to them. If he calls, they're going to answer. If he tells them to come to him, they're going to do it. And that's why a lot of guys are kind of cautious when it comes to dating single mothers, because they have that connection. So much so that she's willing to set up a guy that thought that he could trust her. He thought that this girl was his girl and that he can go along what she was doing. But it turned out to, just shows how deadly she could be. People talk, we joke around about how, winter is coming. It's getting kind of cold, man. How many topics have we seen the last couple months of women setting up men to be robbed? How many topics have we seen of women setting up men to be robbed? It shouldn't be going on, but it is. And that's where we are in this society. That's where you are in this society. So let me know what y'all think, man. Like the video, share it, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. RIP to Ohleyer Jones. I'll see y'all next one.